Now, cadiaN, congratulations on making it through to the playoffs. Obviously, already quarterfinals at least secured, potentially making it even further if you win your next game. Couple of really crazy games. I think we have to start there because even against OG, you dropped that like 1-9 lead or something on Ancient and then came back yourselves, to come back. Just same thing here against Vitality. It seems like you never have it easy,
I think that's maybe one of the things we need to learn the most is like when we get that lead, how do we maintain it? Is it because we're too passive, too aggressive? Are we like sticking too much to the protocols of what we like predicted that they would do and stuff like that? Or like we need to figure out because obviously like leading 7-1, 9-1, these kind of things, and then dropping the last 5 rounds or 6 rounds and a half, right, especially at CT at the current state of the game, it's just not acceptable. But one thing that we don't need to learn is how to come back from like tough moments. We've done that thousands of times and still proud of the boys for doing that. But two crazy series indeed.
Yeah, I mean, you also played the two kind of like one of the newest rosters, coming into this year, in OG with Nexa and obviously Vitality after that big move that they made. I know you had a couple of, matches to look at from them because they played in Blast, but, I imagine it wasn't the easiest job in the world to kind of like gauge what to expect from them.
No, like for both teams, I mean, we're the honeymoon destroyers now, right? Beating 2 of the teams who like OG were 8-1 and at least in maps, I'm not sure what Vitality was, but pretty good as well, I think, in that regard. So, like the weird part about the prediction or like the preparation is that some maps you might only look at, like for example Mirage. We play Mirage, right? They played it once and they got beaten 16-4 by G2. So we could see the TT side, but nothing from the T side, right? And that's kind of crazy going into it, not even being completely sure who's the lurkers, who's in the map control, these kind of things. But obviously you try and build tendencies from other maps and stuff like this. But the preparation was less on some maps. But Inferno, we knew they were going to pick it, right? 4-0 coming into the event, lost to Mouse yesterday. Yeah. But still their strongest map. But historically speaking, we've just had such a good time against them on Inferno, if I recall correctly. Like I remember beating them, I think at like the Cologne final and fall final or stuff like this. Just good times against them on that map.
Right. Now, I was wondering about this because obviously you guys are one of the rosters that have remained stable, from quite a long time now, actually a couple of years, right, since you have made the latest change, So how much, considering how many teams are new, how much of a pressure does this put on you guys, to perform now? You guys obviously have a lot of pedigree behind you.
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of established in the way that I think in March, April, it's the 1-year anniversary of Refresh and Shoes. Me, Tessis and Stavn, especially me and Stavn, has been together for a long time now. I saw the Kinder interview, like, now, no excuses and stuff. I think it kind of goes both ways because it is possible to go deep in the early stages of a team's path as well. We saw that like we had been together for 1.5 weeks, 2 weeks when we won Pro League, right? So I think it can both be really good and also bad in terms of like the map pool and stuff. It depends a bit on the play style and the players. But yeah, I think, like you said, we've been pretty consistent. Last tournament of the year, last World Finals, we didn't have Stavn. So for me, that doesn't really count. Then there's the IEM Fall, which we bumped out 0-2. Yeah. But to be honest, that's also just a tournament we should have never participated in. Like the energy wasn't there, the mood wasn't there for going, and that's just a bad start already. But I mean, you can always find excuses of why you exit tournaments, right? So getting to the players with this one, just super important again to re-establish that we are a LAN team and we want to make playoffs every time.
Right, and you also had kind of like a wrong step going into this year in that K23 loss in Pinnacle, right?
I mean, I literally tested positive for COVID when I arrived at the office, and then I had like 1.5 hours to get back to my apartment, and the boys had to play without me in the room, and some chaos and frustrations, and they were playing pretty well. I mean, they're calling out Bird from Sky, and then they win like 10 online games in a row, My boy, no, just joking.
Right. Now, obviously looking ahead, who do you see kind of like as the biggest threats? We've seen kind of ups and downs from everybody. We have Navi, who are obviously shaky, barely, beating Anson in their series, had a rough Blast showing as well. Some of these new teams also, kind of like up and down. We're still not really sure how to gauge them. So where do you guys stand among all this?
It's a really good question. I think it's like the most open LAN tournament we've had in a long while. Also with Gambit losing yesterday, like that's also one of the favorites in my opinion. So I think for the mental aspect of the game, I'll just say that Navi obviously still huge favorites. Don't matter the COVID results and so on. They've shown at the last lands for 2 years now that they're the best team on land. So I think it's a very open tournament with Robs not being with FaZe. Boomich had the positive COVID test. It's also going to be frustrating throughout the group stage and stuff like this, but I think there's at least 5-6 teams that can go all the way. So I don't know where that puts us. It puts us in top 6, right, as today's result showed.
Yeah, I mean, that's already obvious, right, is that you're already there. Okay, congratulations on making it to the playoffs again, and thank you very much.
Thank you.